Hey, so what do you guys think about aliens? Me personally, I feel like they're gonna use that, with the people that don't know the Bible to say that God's not real because aliens are not in the Bible, and people will be like, see, God's not real because there's aliens now. What do you guys think about that?
So, yeah, me first. So,
Where's the voice coming from?
Probably about 6 or 7 years ago, I would subscribe to the idea that the universe was big enough that the odds of there being aliens were very great, right? God didn't create the entirety of the universe and then not create aliens somewhere where we couldn't find them. But the more that I've learned about who he is and the more I've learned about how he's structured creation, the less I believe that there are aliens, because God has given us the universe as kind of a clock and a countdown timer and a marker for what we can look to. So first off, I don't think that there are aliens. That's my opinion, is that there are aliens. I think that that's going to be used as a distraction. I think Satan is trying to make that more of a regular thing to bring a greater distraction for what we're going to see during these end times.
What do you think, Keith?
I think aliens are being used by Satan, and I would personally suggest that they are the replacement for the giants of the Old Testament, the Nephilim. And it's a deception that Satan has thrown out there. There's a theory, it's called panspermia, and that's that aliens came to the earth and left DNA, and that through evolution we are here today. And that's not biblical. I believe that the Nephilim are a distraction. I believe there's going to be an end times announcement, and it may involve a large person, an alien of some type, who would be directed by Satan. That would try to convince people that they are the God of the Bible and that they should be the ones that are worshipped. So having a large person now, like they had back in Bible times, wouldn't be nearly as effective. People were afraid of the giants in the Bible because of their size, and that's when they were doing hand-to-hand combat. Today, that wouldn't make any difference. We could still bomb them with a jet or something. And so I think Satan has changed his tactics, and he's coming at us from the alien life form side, trying to deceive people into believing evolution and not following the Bible.
So, can people confuse an alien with a demon? You think that's...
Absolutely. I think they're the same thing. I think aliens would be some kind of demonic life force. I don't believe they can leave the earth. I don't believe they can transport and go between planets. I think they're locked here on the earth, and I think they're fallen angels that are here basically biding their time, trying to deceive people, and are involved in a lot of satanic occult activities.
So, Brandon, do you think that the demons or the half-breeds that were supposed to be locked up right now, you think there's some are loose or they're all locked up?
There's some theories. You can go and do some research on a place called the Solomon Islands in the Southern Pacific, and there's a lot of folklore from the people who are native to there. There's some eyewitness testimony of construction workers that were there during the wars claiming that they've seen these things. You can find, imprints of giant footsteps, and you can hear tales of giants interacting with people and even eating them, that they're cannibalistic. I think that God has told us in his word that it's going to be as in the days of Noah, and as we get closer to the time of Daniel's 70th week starting, we're going to start to see more of that activity because God's going to allow it. He told us in his word he's going to bring those things forth to test the people who claim to know him, and those who are just, in name only, don't actually have a relationship with him. And I think we're going to see more of that. Obviously there's theories that they're in North America and in Mexico and things like that, but I think that they're here. I think that God's keeping his hand on that, and when he removes his hand, we'll start to see more of it.
Okay, last two questions. One for you. What's going on in Area 51? Do you think that's real? You think there's aliens in there, or what they say aliens is?
I think the government likes to keep secrets because it may be embarrassing to them. It would not surprise me. There's a lot of people who have suggested that Adolf Hitler was demonically directed, and that Satan was giving him information to help him in his endeavors. I believe that is happening today. I know Satan is working through the lives of people, humans, to try to get his plan to work. And he's working in Hollywood, he's working in the military, he's working in politics, and he'll do anything that he can to stop God's plan. And so I'm not suggesting that Area 51 is demonic, but I would suggest that Satan is involved in a lot of different areas in our government that are of the occult nature, mainly because a lot of the people that are in our government are followers of Lucifer, and they're trying to please him.
Brandon, so what do you think when people do like YouTube stories about them being abducted? What do you think about that? Are they being abducted or not?
Being abducted?
Yeah.
That's an interesting subject. I think if you look at some of the eyewitness testimonies of people who have claimed to be abducted, based on the evidence and the appearances, it looks like that might be the case. But we have to use some discernment. If we don't believe that aliens are real, how much can we really account for those types of testimonies?
It's kind of like the people that say they die and go to hell or like heaven. What do you think about that?
Right. According to what Scripture says, if we stick to that, we know that we're not going to judgment immediately. And so if anybody claims that they went to heaven or if they claim they went to hell, as a Berean, we hold that up to a very critical light and say, that doesn't line up with Scripture. We know that God works with visions through people, and He can absolutely do that to help turn someone's life away from whatever path they're on by giving them a vision of what they might experience in hell or giving them a vision of what heaven might look like. But if we keep the Word as our standard, we're going to realize that if they claim they went to heaven and we hold it to the Bible, we know that that's not the case.